John Fredericks Radio Network and the John Fredericks Radio app. Great job, Tyler. Great getting that song up. Very nice. Very, very appropriate for today. And thank you for doing that. This segment brought to you by my good friend Mike Lindell at My Pillow. Sammy loves his My Pillow blanket. I tell you what, you got a pet. I don't know what that thing is. Somehow it retains heat on the blue side. Because he loves it. I mean, that cat, no matter where I put that blanket, he's on it. So he loves that thing. Your dog is going to love it too. But Mike and his employees doing Curtis, lovely young lady, has been with him forever. Great to work with, his senior executive of marketing. They want to thank you personally for your great support in 2025. And they want to make 26 the best year ever. So here's what they're going to do. Here's what Dawn talked Mike into doing. Dawn said, look, Mike, let's give our customers on the Frederick Show, let's give them free shipping on their entire order, and let's give them wholesale pricing. So they're bringing back the mega sale. Just for my bus tour, thank you, for example. The classic My Pillows, regularly $49.98. You know what they are now? $15. What? They're giving them away. Turn any mattress, like we did, into the best mattress ever. With the made in USA My Pillow, My Mattress Topper, which I've got. Save up to $100 on that. Get a set of My Pillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98. Or the 6-pack towel set. Gotta get the towels. $34.98. Get the slippers too. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Godzilla. MyPillow.com. Promo code Godzilla. That's the key. That's why it's a win-win. You get the savings. Or call this number. 800-854-0504. 800-854-0504. And you are good to go. 800-854-0504. Promo code Godzilla. MyPillow.com/Godzilla. It's good to have you with us. So we're going to get the phone lines here in a minute. 888-480-JOHN. So listen, I live in D.C. When the summer comes, the Potomac is going to stink. It is going to be disgusting because we got the biggest waste sewage spill ever. So how did this happen? Well, here's how it happened. The District of Columbia hired this guy, David Gaddis, as CEO and general manager of DC Water in 2018. Now, this is a guy that lied, according to the Washington Times. He lied in Flint, Michigan, telling their residents that water was safe to drink, even though it was contaminated with lead. So they hired him anyway. And when he got there, he's African American. And when he got there, he said his first priority was DEI. And his first priority was to get rid of all the white male executives in DC Water. A lot of them had institutional knowledge, but it didn't matter because they were white and they were men. So Gaddis replaced all the white male executives with people of DEI, whoever met the DEI standards. And he said when he joined DC Water that this was an organization that looked very similar to our industry. It was predominantly, white male at the top, but this was a utility that's, more than 70% of people of color work at this utility, but all the executives are white. So I'm going to change out the executives because they're white, not because they're incompetent, not because they don't do their job, not because it would hurt the water situation because they've been there and they're senior executives and they have institutions. No, simply I'm going to get rid of them because they're white and they're male, double whammy. So he gets rid of all of them, puts these DC DIE people in, and the DC Water focus solely on DEI and environmental justice, whatever the hell that means, then oversight, repair work, and maintenance of the sewer lines. I mean, this is incredible. The guy's focus was not the sewer lines. It was corroded. It was aging. They never tested it. All he wanted to do was change the makeup of who worked there. This guy's just incompetent. Under Gaddis' leadership, the utility focused on supplier diversity, inclusion councils, training outreach, compliance goals, and internal equity practices. That's what he focused on. Not the pipes, not the sewage system, not the corrosion, not the fact that it was old and in disrepair. None of that got focused on. None of that got tested. And so finally it broke. And now we've got 600 million gallons of human waste flowing into the Potomac. And they can't fix it. Unfriggin' believable. If there was ever an argument to get rid of home rule in Washington, D.C., this is it. This is another thing. It's kind of like getting rid of the filibuster. Just get rid of home rule. You have the votes in Congress to get rid of it, especially after this disaster. You simply take the city over back the way it was run. And then you appoint competent people so we're not smelling poop for the next year, which is what's going to happen here, especially at our 250-year anniversary. These people are incompetent beyond the pale. But yet this is what happens. It is unbelievable that we're in this situation. And so, you go to Comer and it's like they don't want to deal with it. Oversight doesn't want to deal with it. You could change this in one day. I mean, we got 13 members of council here in Washington, D.C., one more leftist than the other one. They passed this rule you have to have a Republican. That's the meaning of the rule in one of the open seats, one of the at-large seats. But instead of saying Republican, they said can't be a Democrat. So then the Democrats just changed to independent 2 minutes before they file. And then they got another Democrat in. So they even circumvented that. So I'm going there. I'm like, just change it from not Democrat to Republican and say you have to be a registered Republican in the district for 2 years. That's all you have to do. It is 16 minutes. You'll get this done. They won't do it. No, they won't do it. They don't do anything. They'll have to go on Fox News, though. Cohen will be on Fox. That's about it. 888-480-JOHN. 888-480-5646. Going to send that rant to put up. You want to weigh in. I got some other clips here. I got so many phone lines going. I got three phones, and I couldn't get my printer to work, so got to go to that. Here's Trump. Let's get to here's Trump. Let's get to number 6 here. He said, well, no, let's get to 5. Here's Trump saying the Dems don't want to give us voter ID because they want to cheat. Duh. But you're not leveraging, Mr. President, you're not leveraging Thune to get rid of the filibuster. Because if you were, you wouldn't endorse any of these clowns, like Lindsey Graham, which is what I said at the press briefing, which, by the way, went viral. Thank you. So, whining without a plan, I'm not interested. You should say to Thune, if you don't get rid of this thing, I will recruit somebody and primary your sorry ass out of there. Do it. Otherwise, stop whining, because they're not going to pass anything. Because they're institutionalist. Thune is an institution. What does that even mean? I mean, we throw these things around. Thune is an institutionalist. This guy is establishment. I guess I'm establishment now because I'm a candidate, DC GOP, running for Ward 2 chairman. Don't forget, you can help me out. Donate to my campaign. I got a big event coming up, March 16th. Got a headline. It's going to be in DuPont Circle. More on that coming later. Everybody's invited. Of course, we got food. This is Godzilla. You have an event with me, you eat. Drinks, cash bar. That's on your own, but you'll never leave hungry. Godzilla is no stranger to the utensil, as you know. Although I am looking pretty good, right? A little svelte, losing weight, doing it the right way, all good, right? A pound every couple of weeks. I'm doing it the right way, so I keep it off. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Anyway, where was I? Go to put this up, Tyler, because it's Friday. I'm having fun. I had fun yesterday, too. This show's getting to be too much fun. It's supposed to be work. Go to makedcgreat.com, makedcgreat.com, makedcgreat.com. Check it out. Check out my website. You can mail us a check. Maximum donation is $200, so you're off. So you're off the hook. That's your max. Or if you want to give a donation, that's separate site. Just go to John Fredericks Radio Show. But if you want to mail a check, love to have it. It's right there. MakeDCGreat.com. You got the QR code there. Love to have you with us and help us out. Got a big things coming up. Everybody say, I'm making calls in DC like, hi, I'm running for DC chairman, council ward 2. I need your signature. Love to, talk to you, get your signature. And like everybody, when they do answer the phone, and I've had, talk to 5 or 6 people, you get about 25% you actually get to. The first question they say is, why are you doing that? That's the first question. Why are you doing that? There's no chance here. I mean, this city's gone. I mean, the only thing that saved it is Trump. I mean, the council's horrible. I'm like, well, if not me, who? Somebody's got to get change here. Oh, the party sucks. Well, we got to fix it. I mean, you just stand on the sidelines and whine. Like Ant says, you got to have balls and a plan. So go to my website, MakeDCGreat.com. Throw Godzilla the proverbial bone. Maximum donation, $200. You can mail a check. Larry in Richmond. Shame you, Larry. 888-480-JOHN. Okay, what were we saying? Let's get to 5. Here's Trump saying they don't want voter ID so they can cheat. Roll it. 5.
Tariffs. Tariffs! Can you believe it? It said tariffs. And I got to be before a court. Can you believe it? This is like men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody. I have a new one to add, voter ID. The Democrats don't want to give us voter ID because they want to cheat. The only way they can cheat is if they, look, we can stop them so easy. You know what they say? We don't want voter ID because it's racist. Okay? That's a good one. It's racist. No. I'll tell you what, when they look at the polls, 95% of the people want voter ID. Then you have proof of citizenship. So we want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. For you to vote, let's prove that you're an American. So please, proof of citizenship. They're fighting that. They're fighting that. And then we don't want to have mail-in ballots where they're mailed in from all parts of the place. Mail-in ballots are crooked as hell. We're the only country in the world that use this type of mail-in ballot, the only country in the world. I'll tell you what, Republicans have to win this one. We'll never lose a race. For 50 years, we won't lose a race. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. And we don't want mail-in ballots except for the military far away, except for people that are ill, disabled, or people that are away. Even for a vacation, we'll be generous, okay? Other than that, we don't want mail-in ballots because mail-in ballots, they cheat. Without tariffs, what would you do? You know what? Everybody would be bankrupt, everybody. The whole country would be bankrupt. And I have to wait for this.
I mean, he nailed it. He's fired up. These economic numbers are absolutely stunning. 888-480-JOHN. Let's get to Rob in New York. Rob, you're live. Hey, your city down the thruway there is going bankrupt. Madami says he has no money, and he's giving away things for free, and now he's got to raise taxes. So we got this thing, Rob, in California, where they made the seizure of assets retroactive for 2 years. So even if you left California this year or last year, they will still seize your assets. So this isn't a tax. What they're doing in California, I want you guys to think this through, right? This is the first step towards communism. What they've passed in California is asset seizure. This is not a tax. They have said if you have a net worth of $1 billion that you have to fork over, we will seize 5% of your asset net worth. 5%. Now, 5% of $1 billion is $50 million, right? 100 million would be 10%. So it's $50 million. Your assets will get seized, not a tax, because one time. And if you left the state, it goes retroactive 2 years. So if you're living in Texas and your company and your net worth is $1 billion, you have to still pay the state of California $50 million. And if you don't pay it, they will get judgments and seize your property and take your home and garnish your bank account. See, this is what governments do. This is a seizure of property that you accumulated. And if you don't have 50 million cash sitting in your checking account, liquid, then you will have to sell assets in order to pay California the $50 billion. Now, if you're worth $2 billion, then it's $100 million. If you're worth $10 billion, then it's $500 million that they are seizing from you. If you don't think that Mandami is going to do this, if you don't think this is the coming trend, you got Bernie Sanders out there campaigning for it. Screw the billionaires. You didn't build this. Now, I'm not, I'm a populist, but if you earn the money, you want to tax somebody 50%, yeah, you'll pass that tax. But this isn't a tax. This is an asset seizure for no reason other than you're successful. I mean, this is mind-boggling. And it starts at $1 billion, and then it's going to be 100 million, and then it's going to be 50 million, and then it's going to be $1 million. So if they determine you have a net worth of $1 million, which is a lot of people in this country, if you're taking their 401ks and you got to pay 5%, you got to pay $50,000 to some government, which I don't have $50,000. Is my net worth $1 million? If you add up all the radio stations, yeah, I'd have to sell one. This is insane. But this is what they're doing. And it's being cheerleaded by the left. Rob in New York, line 1. Rob, you're live, buddy.
Good morning, John. A couple things. One, unfortunately, I'm back in New York. But two, I'm just listening to a couple things that you did when you ran that Laura Ingraham clip there. And the point you were making, Trump's got to get out there, and not just him, everyone else from all these different cabinet positions. Why? Because two things. One, obviously, we've discussed this many times. We're losing young people because of Epstein, but Republicans did not work. It did not work out that well with Republicans pushing the redistricting plan. Okay, you couldn't get the Indiana folks to get together, and the GOP ran away from doing its job in Virginia. And look how quickly Spanberger's clowns pushed through what they're doing. And this is insanity, and that's going to continue. And we've opened the door to the left. Third thing is what you just said right here. I don't know how that's even constitutional to do an asset seizure like that. And I read, I think it was Planetaire, or one of those companies that was leaving Colorado and moving for Florida. Well, you're still going to have to report to us. Screw you. We left your state. You don't own us.
Well, it's gonna have to go to SCOTUS. I mean, there's no question. But they want to make this retroactive, and the reason why they're making it retroactive is because people are fleeing the state. And this is not a tax. I want to just reiterate to people: this is not a tax. This is not, okay, we're taxing an additional 5% on income over $1 billion. Now, that's a tax. And if the legislator passes it, the governor signs it, then you got to deal with it. This is not a tax. This is a communist-driven asset seizure. They are seizing your assets for no reason other than you have them. I mean, and then you got to understand, if you are battling a government, right, with unlimited resources, I don't care how many lawyers you have, if they get a judge to sign a judgment, and they have that judgment, and that judgment says, you owe me $50 million to the state of California, and some judge in California signs that, they then have the right to garnish their bank account, freeze their bank account, seize their property, foreclose it. That's what that judgment does. And so this is a very serious matter. Now, we can laugh it off and say, well, it only affects the billionaires in Silicon Valley. Right now it does. But you set this precedent, dude. I mean, they're going to come after everybody's house worth over $750,000 in order to pay more money for illegals, which is their power base. I mean, if you don't see this coming, you're in a dream world. I mean, this is the first salvo that they fired. And it's going to be quite the battle. And, and who's ever the Democrat there will get elected. Hilton's not going to win. The other guy, the sheriff's not going to win. The Democrat will win, and they'll keep doing it until SCOTUS or somebody stops it. Rob, go ahead.
No, I was saying, I mean, and this is a big problem because when you get these communists that rail on, you said something right in there which is very important when you were talking about your personal situation. This is another problem of messaging that the right has. There is a big difference between assets and income. Right. You could have a tremendous amount of assets, but your assets aren't liquid.
Right.
Okay. So when someone's retired, let's use that as an example. Most people, when they're retired, the most important thing to them is their income. Right. Because otherwise you're going to force them to sell off their stock portfolio. Right. You're going to force them to sell their house. Right. Whatever. So this is a very big problem we have in this country, is not explaining the differences. Right. So when you look at this guy owns all those buildings. Great. But you can't sell a building on Monday and get your money on Tuesday. Especially commercial property that takes forever to unload sometimes. And in cities like New York, where they're pushing for that crazy thing where residential units above 4 families are now going to have go through. They want that law so badly. I don't even know how that's even legal either. To have nonprofits decide who a private person can sell his 5-unit apartment house to.
Not only that, it's the appraisal. Let's take my situation, right? So Ann and I own 23 radio signals, and I think we own land in there. We own towers and licenses. Well, who's to determine? Okay, let's take Atlanta, AM 1690. People are tuned in there now. So in Atlanta, AM 1690, we own the license. We don't own the land. We pay a lease. We don't own the tower. Tower's owned by somebody else. We pay a lease to put our antenna on the tower. So we don't own that, but we own the license for AM 1690. There's a value there. We purchased it for $500,000, a matter of public record. So we bought it for $500,000. Somebody comes in and they have to assess that. How do you assess it? Based on what? Based on the income we make? Based on EBITDA? Well, that's all tied into 23 stations. So somebody would come there and say, okay, you bought it for $500,000. Now it's worth $600,000 based on their estimate. And then you times that by all the other stations. You can say, okay, you have a net worth of $5 million. Well, that's all tied up in radio licenses and towers and signals. So you say, okay, well, you got to pay 5% of that. That's $250,000. What? Where am I going to get that? I would have to then turn around and sell Atlanta to get the cash out, and then pay taxes on that, I guess. And then, well, no, because I would take say it was $500,000. So I'd have to sell Atlanta to somebody else to get the money to pay the asset seizure, and I didn't do anything. I started selling my assets. It's insane beyond belief. But the way they've sold this is, it's the billionaires. It's the billionaires. Bernie Sanders. It's billionaires.
It's insane, and all you need.
It's the billionaires today, Rob, and it's your parents in New York City tomorrow. That's what they're doing, Rob.
Exactly, and then all you need is some creepy judge like that one in one of the Trump cases that said, "Oh, Mar-a-Lago's only worth $18 million." Meanwhile, there's these postage stamp properties on Palm Beach. I've been to Palm Beach. $18 million? Well, shit, if you're going to make $18 million, then what's it called? Then imagine what the value of all those other properties are over there. I mean, it's insane.
Yes.
It's insane. And we sit there and we look at it, and what are we doing? Oh, well, let's dunk on Trump because some staffer put out a video. Let's worry about Tucker. Let's worry about this one. Let's worry about that one. The communists are, never mind the camel's nose is under the tent. They're freaking right in there. They're in the state houses. They're in these city halls. They're in these district attorney offices. And we're like, well, we can't get rid of the filibuster. That would be terrible for precedent and historical value and blah blah blah. Let's go on Fox News and talk about it.
Historical
Or you have
value.
McConnell.
I'm sorry,
You
Rob.
know, you have McConnell.
Go ahead, Rob.
I try, John. I try. No, I try, man. I sound calm, but I sound calm on the radio here and phone line, but I could get pretty animated. You know, you look at McConnell. The guy's a walking fossil. Well, I can't vote for the SAFE Act. You know, it's horrible. What the hell's wrong with people?
Walking fossil.
You know, my John, I went to visit my brother-in-law who sold his house. He and his family, they sold their house in Brooklyn. They bought this beautiful home in Boca Raton area. It's in a gated community. There's a sign right there when you come into the guard. You have to show your valid driver's license for them to let you in. And I felt like asking the guard, who happened to have been a person of color, I was going to say, why are you supporting Jim Crow? Of course, I didn't say that, but, you know, that's just the way it is. You show your ID for tons of things. You know,
Okay,
you show it
so
for
that
voting.
reminds me. Okay, so that's a good story. So yesterday, I had to FedEx something for my campaign. So I got a FedEx. So I go to the FedEx store, right? And now it's like $11.80. They raised it up. It used to be $10 for 2 days. It was a good deal. So it's $11.80, and I got the address and I got the package there, and I'm paying cash. You know, just give them $12, right? I take out $12. And the guy says, "Well, I need your government ID." I'm like, I'm sending a package and paying you cash. Well, you know, for FedEx, I have to see a valid issued government ID. So I'm like, well, and the guy was Hispanic. So I'm like, so let me get this straight. I can't send the FedEx cash without giving you an ID, but somebody can walk in Washington, D.C. with no identification and cast a vote for your next mayor and city councilman. That will basically control your life. How's that work? And the guy said, "You're right. Stupidest thing I ever heard." This is a Hispanic guy. So I give him my license. We're laughing about it. He says, the guy is like, I mean, who doesn't have a ID? He said, you can't get a job. You can't get a bus. You can't go on Amtrak. You can't go on the metro. You can't do anything without an ID. Well, you can go on the metro with it without if you have a card or cash, but unbelievable. You can't get anything. All right, Rob, we got to go. Great call. Thank you.
Be well, John. Have a great weekend.
Boca Raton with your brother-in-law. Sounds like you married into a highfalutin family there, Rob.
He's just a hard worker. He's not. I mean, this is just a perfect American, story. I mean, my wife and him didn't come from money.
I want to move to Boca.
Yeah, it's really nice.
If there's any properties in your brother-in-law's gated community, that's where Ann wants to go, Boca. But it's going to be tough to.
Oh, she'd love it.
I know, but it's going to be tough to pry us out of the safest, most beautiful city in America. When the poop starts smelling in the Potomac, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you cannot make this stuff up, Rob. Thank you. Tell your brother-in-law I want to go to Boca. Send me any listing in his gated community where you have to have an ID to get in. I'm there. All right, Rob. Thanks. We've got Mr. Dunn coming up next. Iran. He knows a little bit about warfare. When I get back, keep it right here.